ahead of the regular news, we thought it would make sense to take advantage of this channel's identity crisis and combine the gaming and news wings into a series that caters to both. This is the gaming news for January. Viewers may remember the announcement of Minecraft Earth in early 2019, a free-to-play Pokemon Go-like experience which sees players scavenge for resources and build structures in real-world locations. However, only a year after its release in December 2019, Mojang has announced that Minecraft Earth will be discontinued as of June this year. Unlike many players speculating that this cancellation was down to questionable tweets by Minecraft Steve in 2012, it was instead simply a victim of the COVID-19 virus, which has understandably made it much harder for players to spend extended time in crowded areas. Mojang has therefore made a decision to reallocate resources to other segments of the Minecraft community and have decided to release all finished content, remove real money purchases, and drastically reduce the time requirements for all crafting and smelting within the game. Star Wars fans were excited to learn this month that the 10-year exclusivity deal that Disney had with Electronic Arts to publish Star Wars games has been modified and will allow other publishers the opportunity to create video games with the Star Wars license. A member of the Swag News team was actually in the room where Disney and Electronic Arts discussed the new arrangement, in which the Disney representative said, "I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further."
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Ubisoft confirmed that they would be one of the new publishers to take up the Star Wars mantle, as the studio responsible for their Division franchise would be taking on the new project. The future title was set to utilize the Snowdrop engine previously used by the Division 2, and the game is said to be open world and story driven, one of which Ubisoft is good at making. No information is currently available on whether the title would be single or multiplayer, which part of the Star Wars timeline the game would take place, or when the game is expected to release. However, the CEO of Ubisoft told Wired magazine that it would be an original Star Wars adventure that is different from anything that has been done before. This announcement also came after speculation that Electronic Arts was working on Star Wars Battlefront 3 after two of the main voice actors for Battlefront 2's campaign were found suspiciously tweeting about Star Wars and motion capture suits, as well as both confirmed to be in Los Angeles during November last year. When considering that the Electronic Arts licensing deal reportedly expires in 2023, it's unsurprising that they would want to squeeze out a handful of new titles before the time frame is over.
EVE Online.
It's that time again, when the incredible world of EVE Online makes headlines, as yet another fucking enormous battle between two in-game factions leads to several $100,000 worth of damage. For those unfamiliar, EVE Online is a space-based and persistent open-world multiplayer game in which players can pursue a number of in-game professions, such as mining, piracy, manufacturing, trading, and combat. Since its initial release in 2003, the game has become famous for the formation of incredibly powerful in-game factions, made up of coordinated networks of participating players. To give context for the latest battle, a war between two in-game alliances, the IMPERIUM and PAPI, has been raging for months and has seen PAPI slowly taking control of IMPERIUM territory. This led up to a New Year's attack on an IMPERIUM-controlled space station using their fleet of Titan-class ships. Titans are essentially the biggest ships in the game, which take a total of 2 months to build and are stupid levels of expensive. A decade ago, Titans within EVE Online were worth an estimated $7,600. However, with a larger player base, leading to more readily abundant materials, a very helpful player estimated its value today to be just short of $1,000 at the base level. Once the attack on the space station was reported, the IMPERIUM responded with their own Titan-equipped fleet, which is where things became interesting. In most circumstances, one of the two fleets would attempt to leave the area because they would conclude that they would lose the battle, and 4 fleets of this size, very likely the long-running war. In this circumstance, however, both sides estimated that they would win the battle, and so commenced a 12-hour engagement that brought in an escalating number of Titans. By the time the battle was cut off by daily maintenance, both sides were still committed to the fight, and while the Imperium claimed a higher Titan kill count of 129 compared to their rivals' 123, both sides claimed victory by different metrics. Once the dust had settled, an estimated $340,000 worth of damage was done during the conflict, and judging from previous large-scale EVE Online battles, an even bigger scuffle is expected sometime in the future. The annual trade show, organized by the Consumer Technology Association, better known as CES, came and went this month and showed off some impressive innovations, both inside and outside the gaming space. In terms of hardware, Nvidia was once again a highlight for many, unveiling the RTX 3060 graphics card for a comparatively measly $329. This is incredibly tempting for people wanting to get around the 30 series of cards and their RTX benefits on the cheap when it drops sometime in late February. However, many PC enthusiasts may want to put down the extra $70 for the 3060 Ti version, which has already hit the market. Viewers who might be wanting the luxury of playing Fortnite outside of the house may also be interested in the RTX 30 series of laptops, which are said to have over 70 new models being released over the next few months, including some capable of 240Hz at 1440p. For those of you who might be wanting something flashier, then leave it to Razer to never have an ounce of subtlety in its brand. Introducing the Project Brooklyn Gaming Chair, a carbon fiber bucket seat, which has a retractable 60-inch panoramic display. The chair also features adjustable armrests, a mouse and keyboard tabletop, and tactile feedback, because why the fuck not? Razer also made the assumption that buyers would at some point need to leave the comfort of their ultimate gaming pod and venture into the harsh and unforgiving infected world in which we now live. This is why they've developed a gamer face mask to laugh at the rest of society with their pathetic cotton variants. The Razer mask features a medical-grade respirator system that filters out 95% of airborne particles, a transparent face area, and a built-in microphone to unmuffle the wearer's voice. The waterproof mask also comes with a UV light disinfectant system, and because Razer is incapable of making a single product without it, exterior RGB lighting. Viewers looking to get their hands on either of these masterpieces of design might be waiting a little longer to do so, as both are currently in the prototype stage of development and may never come to market. This being said, sometimes it's just nice to buy something impulsively. If you're looking to listen to music on the go, but want something more subtle than a fucking Vietnam War era aviation headset, then Raycon's wireless earbuds might be what your life is missing. As someone who's been using a pair of Raycons since the start of 2020, I absolutely haven't been disappointed, as the case is the smallest I've ever owned, and the battery lasts long enough to watch the first 3 Shrek movies in one sitting, with enough battery life left over to watch half of Shrek 1 a second time. Raycon's wireless earbuds also sound great, and its emphasis on strong bass make anything from podcasts, music, or unspecified YouTube channels sound as excellent as you'd expect. Raycon is really easy to recommend, as not only are they half the price of other premium earbuds, but if you're even 1% unsatisfied, they'll give you a full refund within the first 45 days, for any reason at all. On top of this, going to buyraycon.com/surswag will get you another 15% discount for a limited time, or just click on the link in the description like a normal fucking person. Raycon, adapting to the extinction of the headphone jack. Meanwhile, PlayStation 4 production is nearly entirely halted. RuneScape celebrates its 20th birthday, and someone beats Super Mario 64 in under 40 minutes while blindfolded. Cyberpunk fans might need to wait a while longer for the game to reach prime condition, as CD Projekt Red presented both an apology video for its incomplete launch state, as well as a roadmap of content to come. the co-founder of CD Projekt, announced that the team did not experience many of the bugs that became famous post-launch of the game, which, true or not, was not taken kindly by a vast majority of the player base. As for the roadmap, the exact specifications are extremely vague, and all we can know is that another round of bug fixes is dropping sometime in February, followed by a number of minor DLC releases throughout the year, then finally a next-gen update for PS5 and Xbox Series X players. It's obvious that after earning a reputation for a comical amount of launch date delays, the developers are extremely hesitant to give specific dates to future releases, but it may take a long time to build up much of the consumer trust that has been lost since Cyberpunk's rocky launch. Several members of the Swag News team have not encountered game-breaking issues from our own personal experience, but players looking to buy Cyberpunk might be wise to wait until the game reaches its peak.
The votes have been counted, the Steam community has spoken, and we are proud to announce the winners of this year's Steam Awards.
Unlike the Game Awards which we covered last month, which puts the majority of its weighting on game critics, the Steam Awards concluding in January saw players able to vote literally any game for any award they please. Not only do the Steam Awards tend to give more of a look into the working class gamer's point of view, but by excluding PlayStation exclusives, this also means that The Last of Us 2 doesn't end up sweeping half the night. Some of the standouts included Half-Life Alyx winning Best VR Game, Apex Legends winning the category of Best Game You Suck At, Death Stranding winning Most Innovative Gameplay, and Fall Guys taking home the Better with Friends award. The top award of the night, as Steam's 2020 Game of the Year, went to Red Dead Redemption 2, which not only released on Steam in 2019, but first came to consoles in late 2018. However, because of a very fascinating loophole of no one really giving a fuck, this Rockstar title still took home the gold medal. Every year, on a slow news day, news networks will wheel out the old faithful story of the harmful effects of video games, and will usually attempt to use the medium as a scapegoat for explaining shootings or other violent behavior. Once again this was the case for January, but from the thousands of similar stories, spanning from the 1990s to now, this one is by far my favorite. Officials within Afghanistan have banned the incredibly popular Battle Royale game PUBG from the country, making the claim that it both encourages and normalizes violence. Not only have studies failed to find any link between video games and violent behavior, but critics of the ban have argued that the now 20-year-old war in Afghanistan has done far more to normalize violence than a mobile game released in 2017. Teenagers within the nation have never known a peaceful Afghanistan, and in many cases, these players claim to become immersed into a world of endless killing, so they can in turn forget about the very dangerous state of their home country. In talking to the New York Times, one player from Afghanistan said, "I get so busy with the game, I forget about the world. It distracts me from the city, the attacks, the robberies, the thieves, and the crime." Of course, due to various VPN services, the ban has done very little to actually stop people from playing the game within Afghanistan, which led to thousands of mobile gamers around the nation to collectively reenact the devastated Jeremy Clarkson meme.
Oh no! Anyway, last week...
In terms of new releases, January saw the launch of Hitman 3, Ride 4, and Everspace 2, while February is set to see Control Ultimate Edition, Super Mario 3D World, and Nier 2 Remastered. All relevant links and sources are in the description.